Come on, goats. Ah, come on. That's it, Scarlet. That's it. You gotta go to the bunk. Uh-oh. They see me. How you doing, Daisy? How you doing? Here they come running. It's probably not a good sign. Howdy, y'all. I'm Jacob. Welcome back to the ranch. It's definitely unseasonably warm. I know I mentioned last time that it was supposed to be up in the 80s this week. And I think we're sitting at 74 right now, which is a little bit unusual. Been out walking the pasture and the fence line this morning and checking on everything. And silly me thought it'd be a good idea to head down to the creek and check the fence lines down there. And I stumbled upon something I wasn't really prepared to stumble upon. I think I'll get out of here now. I don't know how well you can tell from that video, but I was walking the creek line and heard something off in the brush not too far away from me, so I turned the opposite direction and started walking, and dang near stepped on two sleeping piglets in the grass. Thankfully their mom wasn't around, and I didn't hang around very long either. I'm up here with the goats now, just checking to see how they're doing. And from walking up here, it definitely seems like they're itching for a little more food. So I've been wanting to get one of the feed bunks out here, and I also need to put out another round bell for them so that they've got food for the next week or so. With any luck, they're currently forecasting next Monday that we're supposed to get some rain and then a little bit more towards the end of that week. So that'll definitely be nice, because I think the last time we had any real measurable rainfall was back in October. And the grass that we planted is definitely suffering. Alright, I think I'm going to run back up to the house, see if I can grab one of those feed bunks we put together, and see if I can bring it down here and get them a little more supplemental nutrition. They definitely seem pretty interested in it. Almost like they know it's got food in it or something. Alright, Daisy. Let's go get your dinner. I know it's a little early, but come on. Come on. Come on. Daisy. Come on, Daisy. Daisy, come on. Good girl. Don't make a liar out of me. She's a good girl. If not, a little independent. Alright, let me see if I can get this bunk out. Maybe they'll let me in there. Look out. Look out. Beep, beep. Yep, that's heavy. You know, I really wish I had built those bunks sooner. They're a little heavy, but sure are useful. Come on, goats. Ah. Come on. That's it, Scarlet. That's it. You gotta go to the bunk. That's it. Nope. I'm empty. I've had a couple people ask what I've been feeding them. And for the most part, it's just alfalfa pellets. But I have been mixing in a little bit of sheep and goat pellets from a local feed store. We really try and keep them on just as much pure forage as we can, but they definitely look like they've been needing a little bit more nutrition. So trying out these sheep and goat pellets to see if it helps them out at all. Nope, I'm empty. I'm empty. See? All empty. All empty. All right. I went ahead and closed them into this netted in section. I'm going to head back up to the house and see if I can grab another wheat bale for them and get that put out. Yeah, I'm working on it. See if I can get some of this bad stuff put on the ground. Keep them from eating it and hopefully still get some use out of it. Alright, let's see if we can get them out in it. Matt! Matt! Come on, goats. So I opted to do this one just a little bit different. Last time when we put out a wheat bale, we rolled it out. But this time, I'm just going to leave it standing here. Because as you can see, this ground is mostly bare dirt. And I really need to get this stuff covered. So leaving the bale like this so that they'll trample a good bit of it into the dirt here will help cover the ground, even though they will waste a bit more of it. Well, I say waste. It'll be put to use, just the use may not be direct feeding the animals. But I will say the bale we rolled out a little while ago has been cleaned up pretty well, so let me show that to you. As you can see, they've really cleaned up a lot of this that we rolled out. There are a few bare patches that they left, but for the most part, as you can kind of see here, it's covering the ground pretty well. And I can see that there's a good bit of seed that's down there touching the soil. So if we do end up getting the rains this week, or this coming week, this could be an area, if I'm able to get them off of it, which I probably could just move a fence in a little bit. But this is an area that would probably start germinating as warm as it's been. And it kind of reminds me of something I'd completely forgotten about. Here a couple years ago, we had to stop using straw to bed their shelters down in the winter because they wouldn't stop eating it. So we ended up changing over to pine shavings, and that worked a lot better because they won't eat that and they'll leave it alone. So while they ended up cleaning up a little bit more than I thought they would, it probably shouldn't be a surprise to me because they're known for eating a lot of straw. I honestly can't remember if I've shown y'all where we've bale grazed spots up in the goat pasture in the past and what that's done to the ground. So let me get my stuff picked up here and I'll head back up there and I'll give you a glimpse of what this can do for the ground. Come on. Hey, sheeps. How y'all doing? So we're back in the goat pasture now. And this has been the area that we've done the most amount of bale grazing. We've done it in several other locations, but this is the pasture we use most frequently in the winter, so it's the one that has had the most use as far as bale grazing goes. And as you can see, you can still see several of the newer spots that the calves and the sheep have been eating over the past few months. Let me see if I can show you some of the soil differences between the bale grazed area and some of the just plain ground. So here's a really good example of the plain ground that's out here. This is a very rocky and caliche area of the property. I'll just walk up here real quick. As you can see, there's a lot of rock and not a lot of really good ground. But if you take a look, particularly in this area, this is one spot that we bale grazed about a year ago. And you can tell out the color differences between the spot where the bale was and just the regular dirt. And you can also see some of the additional forage that grew there. So let me find a couple of the newer old spots. And this is one of them. So this would have been an area last winter that we fed out. As you can see in here, and then working straight towards the road, this was a line of bales that we had put out. And if I go over here, if the puppy will stay out of the way, you can definitely see the difference in the color of the ground here. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm trying to shoot a video here. You know, I'm trying to shoot a video here. You're not helping. Alright. Get your paw out the way. Get your paw out the way. So if you can tell, the ground there is much darker than the other areas. And probably one of the things you can't tell via the video is that ground is actually moist. Whereas everywhere else is dry as a bone. And I mentioned earlier, we haven't had any significant rainfall since October. So that's one thing that's really nice to see. I'm going to check out this other spot. This is another area that we bale graze, and it's a little more in line with where all this rocky ground is as it moves up the hill. I'm going to look at it and see. Pup, I don't need your help. I don't need your help. Oh yeah. So Still pretty similar. This ground is moist and much darker than the rest. And a lot of that comes from the nutrients that the animals put down, as well as the mulch that the hay turns into to help protect all that soil moisture. But this is just one of our test areas that we're trying to see what this effect has on the land and whether or not it's something we need to implement in the larger pastures where the topsoil is at least deeper, and maybe it'll have a better effect. Well, as much as I'd love to stay out here digging in the dirt and taking care of the animals, it is that time of year where things are going to be slowing down, at least as far as projects go. Boss lady's been in the house hard at work getting things ready for Christmas, and I probably need to go in there and give her a hand. Though I do think I just saw her step out, so let me see if I can grab her and we can wrap up this video. Well, y'all, look who I found. And she just happened to be out playing with her horses.
Thought you were talking about Karma.
No, I knew where Karma was. Well, this video is going to be a short one. We've got a good bit left to do to get ready for Christmas with the family.
Baking.
Yeah.
A few last minute present wrapping, which, you know, involves duct tape, probably.
Lots of duct tape.
And zip ties. You just know exactly how to be in the way.
She's always in the way.
I know.
So I guess we'll just leave it there. From our herd to yours, Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. Goofball.